So a couple of people have asked me how I made these monkey fist poi. Asked me to do a video. Sorry for the bad camera angle or anything, doing this off my phone. You can get about 50 feet of this rope, 3/8" rope, at Home Depot, I think $5. I used a Fist Poi silicone knob, about $1.50 each. Fast forward a little bit, need about 20 feet of rope. I've found that any shorter than this, it's kind of hard to work the knot around the ball. I start out by cutting 20 feet of rope, burning the ends, kind of just making a real tight knot and just melting it closed on here. Drill a 3/8" hole through the ball, slit the other side, just pull it through. So it's nice and snug in there, it's not going to go anywhere. Basic jig here, just made it out of any old box I had laying around. 4 pencils in it, right around the ball where it's going to be. Just lay the ball in the center of it. And I found that it takes 6 times around to effectively cover the ball. And you just want to count how many layers you have. And don't worry about your pencils getting all sideways. They're kind of just there to hold everything together. So let's see. By the way, this rope is really stiff when you first get it. I usually undo it and let it relax on the floor or something before I try to work with it. This isn't the softest rope either, so it can be a little rough to spin with, especially when you first get it. Mine have really loosened up now that I've spun with them for a while though. So let's see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now that we have 6 on that side, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this side. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You want to make sure every side has 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. After that 6th one, now you notice we have 7. So what you want to do is you want to make a sharp turn right here like this. And we're going to go around the ball this way 6 times. And you don't really want to do this tightly when you first wrap the ball, because it makes it a lot harder to tighten it down and it not be lopsided, I guess. So you just want to go around behind, pull it through. Remember, the pencils are just kind of there to keep everything lined up. On these parts here, you don't want to pull this too tightly because you have to work back around, especially when you're tightening it down for the final time. I kind of give it a good little pinch so I have some shape and form to it. So we're just going to keep going. Like I said, the rope is stiff, so you will have to kind of twist it around and keep it from binding on you. Like I said, you can do it as loosely as you want. Just when you start to tighten it slowly. Don't try to tighten it all the way down on your first pass after tying the knot. getting bound up. Give your pencils a good tug every now and then, kind of flex them back out so you know you're not getting too tight. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 on that side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this side. So I'm already on my 6th pass on this side. Regardless of how sloppy it looks, just remember to keep your ropes lined up. That's the important thing. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 here. Alright, now if I went back across the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I already have 6 here. I already have 6 across the top, 6 on this side. What you do now is just go around this pencil here, if you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now that would be 7, so we don't want that. What we do is we go around the pencil and go down into this hole. That's what we're going to do now. So we're going to feed this down through here. These can be a little bit of a pain in the ass when you're first trying to tie them, but after you start to get the knot down, it's pretty easy. If you screw up, just undo it and start over. Trust me, I did it several times. Okay, so let's see. We're through this side here. We're through this side. The tether's coming out here. We're going to go under all of those. We don't want to go through that. We want to go under them. Hope you can see this well. Like I said, I'm doing this on my phone, so the angle might not be the best. Got it propped up with binder clips and shit. Alright. Kind of pull our ropes back out. Okay. So we went down through here, under those ropes, came out this side, and now what we're going to do is we're going to go up through and follow this pencil back out the top. And literally, that's how easy it is to tie a monkey fist. You just go back through your 6 passes. That's the beginning of the knot. Now usually, this is about the point where I pull my pencils out, but I'll keep them here for you guys. Because after this goes through, you can pull the pencils out and just keep your rope straight and do it just fine that way. For me, it's easier. But for the sake of the video, I'll keep them in place just for now. I might pull them out toward the end here because it starts getting tight. So, up, over, down, under, through here, back over the top of these, and then we're going to go back down through here. Check everything's in line. Yeah, we're good. So that's 2 passes on this side already. 2 passes under. Trying to rotate this as I do it so you guys can look. Alright, 2 here. 1 there. Coming back up beside that. So now this will be third time through this side. And like I said, you see I'm using 20 feet of rope, but I'm already starting to get pretty close to the end of my rope. I've tried using less than 20 feet, and I've had to stop with the knot, tighten it down partially, and then restart. It just didn't work. I mean, it worked, but unless you are comfortable doing it, it gets confusing. So that's 3 passes on top, 3 passes underneath. This will be the 4th pass underneath. See, I went a little too tight and it starts to get the top of it misshapen. So that's the 4th pass underneath. And at this point, I think I'm going to remove my pencils and everything, just because it's going to be easier. But as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, this will be my 4th underneath. You kind of get the idea, right? I hope so. Pull my pencils out, they're not doing anything at this point. Makes it easier to work with. Keep following in line with the rest of them. So that's 4 on this side. Four on this side. Just keep going round and round. One, two, three, four, 5, 6. So that'll finish this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That side's done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what you do is you just go right back through on that last one. I can get it back through there. I hope I'm going this at a good angle, guys. I'm sorry. Go right through there. That's your last loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pull it out. And this is the side that's already complete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be your tether. Now, I know it looks lopsided as crap right now, but we're going to start working on that. So, from here, you want to find your starting point from the inside of the ball. If you can see, that's where my ball is. That's where the tether is. What I do, because it starts getting confusing after a while, I'll put a couple marks on it in Sharpie or something so I can identify the beginning. I put one right where the knot comes out of the tennis ball, and maybe one just on this side. Just something that's not going to be noticeable to anybody but you, at least. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On mine, I usually just go ahead and pull this all the way through. It makes it a little more lopsided, so you don't have to do that on the very beginning of it, because you'll end up with actually 5 through here, and it's harder to not make it lopsided. So try to keep that in place, and just kind of start with the rope, and just don't pull, just rub it, like just rub the excess away from the core. That way you don't actually pull the tennis ball out of place. If that makes sense to you guys, I hope so. This also kind of ensures that you don't start over tightening if you're not actually pulling on the rope. You just follow the rope. I usually end up counting 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how I know which one to pull. So 4 on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Push through. And you see, you have to make sure they're in line. This is wanting to jump over. Kind of push it back down into its space. Don't have to manhandle it. Sometimes you do. Just make it go in line with the rest of them. Pushing it around. This is where it's going to start having to make you pull on it. Push through. Pull through a little bit. Keep them flat. Now you see how oblong it's getting? The only thing you can really do is just take it in between your hands and kind of push it down together. This rope is really stiff, a little hard to work with. Don't get lost like I just did. So, okay, so we tightened all the way across here. We come around. If you remember, this is where the last one where we went down and through. So this rope here is the through rope where you start your next one. Remember, don't pull this too tightly until you're on about your last pass of tightening it, because it'll squish all of these together. And you don't want to squish anything because it makes it so hard to work with. I usually end up using pliers to tighten them last time, but we'll get to that part. And as you can see, this rope already is on top of this one. Don't worry about it until we start actually getting really tight. So we've come through here, push, just push, give it a little tug. As long as you don't get lost, you can move pretty quickly. I'm going to start to. Not really pulling hard on these at all. You don't really want to. You're just working excess out of the knot. And just keep following your line around. Kind of try to keep things in line. If you can, squish things back in it. See, don't get lost. Here we go. Okay. Nope, I did get lost. Went the wrong way. My bad. This is what I'm talking about. I'm talking and I messed up. Now here we go. Okay. Yep. So now we are going this way. You're thinking, wow, that tether's going to be short. No, it's not. It gets a lot longer. Don't cinch too hard here. Wait till your final passes. Kind of keep it open a little bit. And see, it's starting to get a little more shapely to it. Find your starting point again. There's my black mark. There's my core right there. And give it a little bit of a tug now that it's kind of tightened, just to pull some of the excess out of it. The ball starts to move. Don't worry too much about it. Give it. You can pull it a little bit this time. Mainly in the center. You want to pull through the center knots the most, because that's where you can actually put pressure on it and not really deform the knot. So give it some tugs. Remember, try to keep everything in line best you can. The tighter it gets, the harder it's going to get to keep those in line. So if you can manage to do it the first couple passes, it helps you a lot. See, like right here. So that's pretty decent, but this is crap. So I usually just take my pencil or something and try to shove it back in line with the rest of them. I got it back in there for the most part. Just keep going. You can always tug on it to see what rope you need to pull a little bit. There you go. I'm going to start digging out my pliers. I've got too fat of fingers for this. If you use pliers, just make sure you grab the meaty part of the rope, otherwise you'll pull runs into the outer coatings. Get it back in line. Usually I end up doing about 3 passes on these to really get them tight to where when I'm spinning I don't ever have to worry about my tethers magically getting longer. I mean, you can pretty much tell when the ball ain't going to get any tighter. So that was my last one on this side. I came out, now it's going back around through here. Whatever you do, don't get lost. And you can tell it's starting to get a little bit better shape to it. Just remember, if you tighten it down hard that first time, you're going to fight with it a lot. As you can see, they're pretty well lined. As long as they're lined up and not crossed, when you tighten them, they will fall into place when you pull kind of hard on them. Let's see. If you don't really have strong hands, the pliers help a lot, especially when you go to tighten it on the last go. So that's all gone. This swoops around and goes back this way. Nope, I was wrong. Don't get lost. Pull on your rope to see where your next pull is coming from. Ah, that was the last of it. And take a look at it. See where it's getting out of shape from. Kind of just pull it, manipulate it, work it, squish it. Get it. It helps if you squish it and try to actually form a ball shape when it's at about this point. But as you can see, it's coming along pretty well. It's already taken a good shape. I'll probably tighten this another 2 times from this point, and my tether's already quite long. It'll be quite long when you're finished. I mean, you could practically tie 2 of them together and make meteors. But yeah, that's about it. I won't make you sit through the rest of it. Just keep tightening it down. Like I said, it helps if you mark where you started. If you can't tell where you started, try to just pull the rope apart and look for that core. But yeah, Monkey Fist Poi. Thanks, guys.